Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of my podcast channel called Think About It, powered by Sonara Global. My name is Amir, as you already know. So I have a special guest with me here, Jan Chan, that I've just met recently. Interestingly, we are both part of another association called the Asia AI Association. So yeah, how about you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hey, hi everyone. So I'm Jen, and I'm part of the Asia AI Association as the lead technology consultant. So maybe I can introduce a bit on what the
Please, please,
association do.
please.
Okay, so the Asia AI Association is here, based in Singapore, a registered society here, non-profit as well, and our mission is to actually grow the technology infrastructure as well as the human capital that is needed to be trained in the future skill sets that's required to power the future industry. Of course, future of artificial intelligence, but hopefully with humans as playing the lead role.
Definitely, definitely. So what is it that you do in this association? What's your role in the association?
Ah, so for myself as a technology consultant, uh, that is actually quite a broad term, technology consultancy. So
That is true.
anyone can claim that they can consult you or advise you in consultant as uh,
As a consultant.
consultant. Yes, that's right. So, um, however, in the industry, there are people who are paid for the services and for the advice given on how a business is to be structured in terms of their computer system, in terms of how the business use cases fit into technology solutions. Now that's where my role comes in because for various industries, the customization and the level of automation is of course different. Coming in as a consultant, um, our services that we offer businesses are about how do you actually structure your business, how does your business model work in partnership with the technology systems. For myself, I specialize in end-to-end enterprise systems. If you want to know what an enterprise system is, enterprise systems are the kind of systems, if you heard of SAP.
Please enlighten us.
Okay, in a nutshell, SAP is a business system that takes care of entire corporations or entire companies' business operations.
That's massive. That sounds very massive.
So, in terms of scale, what does this include? It includes an accounting system. Uh, it includes a sales system. So how you sell your products to customers and how you keep track of all the various sales that you have made. It also includes a purchasing system. How do you buy your raw materials for your company? And when I say company, right, I meant factory level
Okay.
company, supply chain. Um, it could be raw materials like timber. It could also be, consumer products like Coke. So
So this is what you are referring to as the infrastructure, as a whole.
yes,
All
so
this.
this is an enterprise system because it covers all the way from the purchasing point of the corporation all the way to the sales. And everything in between, it could be accounting system, it could be inventory management system, it could be facilities. How do you maintain your facility maintenance, project management systems,
Logistics,
logistics, supply chain,
supply chain.
everything. So yeah,
Okay, cool. So as a tech consultant in the Asia AI Association, you advise on these aspects as well as with other companies too,
mm.
right?
So in my role in the association as a tech consultant, what the association has is a lot of software providers or service providers. So people who can provide things that is required to either set up or run the whole entire technology system. Now, the question then comes, if you're a company and you hire someone to set up a message system, so how is the person that you hired supposed to piece all
They need
this?
a guidance system.
No. They don't need a guidance system. They need a person that they can hold responsible for every business decision that is being made. And that's where I come in as a consultant. Because why you pay a consultant for the work he does? Because if things goes wrong, the blame goes on me.
Okay. So your responsibility is quite heavy, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's
All
right.
right. Okay. So before your role in the association, how did you get into the AI technology and business interest? How do you even enter the industry? Like, I don't know. I think you come from JC, right? So from JC, you would have to make the choice, like the finance industry or the medical industry or the AI and tech industry. So what made you come into this AI tech and business industry?
Okay, so for myself, JC education has actually offered an if for the international audience, JC stands for Junior College and is a pre-university school system where after we are done with our secondary schools, which is year 10, we go on to year 11 and year 12 to actually have a broad broad subject combinations in which we study different areas and pursue these areas of academic interest.
If I'm not wrong, I mean, I took the liberty of checking your LinkedIn out, and you come from a Raffles institution and you studied computer science, right?
Yes.
So is that where it all started?
So my interest in computers actually started when I was way younger as a kid. Um, what happened is that we have the old-fashioned desktop, and I had lots of fun trying to wire up new systems. For instance, if my dad buys a new keyboard or a speaker, yeah, how to wire it up. When we shift house, now all the wires have to be dismantled, and then
Oh, so they made you a sort of a hardware expert, right?
yes.
All right. Cool. Ken.
Okay, so maybe then to go on to the education system, I was actually part of my secondary school's computer club.
Not surprising at all.
I was there doing algorithmic competitions. So in Singapore, that would actually be the National Olympiad of Informatics.
Ah. When I was in secondary school, we had this sort of elective subject called what was it called? I think it was just called Applied Sciences.
Ah,
There was a laboratory. It was a bit of perfumery 3D printing, and we were taught how to use microbits. So I'm sure for those who know about microbits, and you guys would have heard of Make Code, this Make Code website where you can code in either Python or JavaScript blocks using the software, right? So that's where my interest in JavaScript and Python came about, and it interested me in at the deeper level. So I decided to pursue it back home as well. So I started to just independently start learning Python and create some simple scripts and programs here and there. So I think in secondary school I created my first website. It was not a very appealing look. It wasn't to look good. It was more of to just learn how HTML and CSS work. And I was really learning how I learned what VS Code was. I learned how to do a local server development. I learned all the terminologies at that time because I was really just getting into it. Then came all the boot camps and stuff. So my my life and journey into code started in secondary school independently. But it started from that applied learning elective lah. So that's luckily I did well for the subject because I was quite invested in the 3D printing and the JavaScript coding as well. So it turned out to be a very nice perfumery project. And then somehow my mom actually liked that I took an interest to it because before that I was already in a triple pure. That's a subject combination I took back in secondary school. So my mom and well, me myself, I thought that I had a pretty good liking to biology because most of my family is also from the medical industry, right? So I was like, should I get into the technical industry or should I stay in the medical industry? My mom was like, go ahead and do what you want because if you're good at it and you like what you're doing, that's what will make you happy. And I guess all parents want that for us, right?
That's so nice to
Yeah.
have supportive parents, but also to a credit of yourself, to be self-interested and self-motivated to pursue exploration into the technology space.
Yeah.
Now that's very important actually, because in today's day and age, technology is always advancing, and we don't have the luxury to be,
Left behind.
left behind, or to wait for someone to feed us the information or the knowledge needed to succeed in not just life but in business.
That is very true. That is very true. Like I didn't even know that Discord existed till my friends told me about it back in secondary school, right? Then when I heard that Discord existed, then I realized that Discord is usually used for gamers, for Discord servers, right? Then something else occurred to me. One of my friends who like coding as well told me about Discord bots. Then I was like, why don't I create a Discord bot? So I actually one of my earliest projects was creating 2 Discord bots of my own that I created and attached to my own Discord server to help automate the server.
That's excellent. Um, you know, to actually go from learning and then going to apply the knowledge in a actual practical way, in a useful, productive way. Of course, it does not need to be profit making or
Yes,
profit driven, but to actually apply the skill sets. Now that is something that many people don't actually put into practice, and they lose the knowledge that they have learned, and that is such a pity.
definitely. So how is AI transforming business development in Asia? It's a bit
Now,
of a broad question, I know.
this is a huge topic, and I am quite sure that I can go on for hours and hours on that.
Just give us a nutshell, a
So
summary.
AI, in a nutshell, are decision making processes, or or as we have lately come to know it, image and text generating processes that
Generative AI, guys. Generative AI.
generative AI. That's right, Gen AI. So now we have come to a point in history where computers and, of course, the internet cloud services are able to perform this kind of processes, this kind of intelligent processes that humans used to once work on. Okay, we are now at a point in history in which AI, artificial intelligence, is able to replace humans in many of these areas, in making many of these decisions, in generating many of these creative works of art or documentation or coding development work.
That is actually a very good way of summarizing how it's transforming business development in Asia. So, for those youth out there who are studying business development or AI and want to go into a career that involves both aspects within the Asia region. So, what are some practical case examples that you can point out for this business and AI topic, business and AI development, and some key opportunities leveraging AI in the region?
So I'm quite sure, as most of you would have realized, AI is not just a development that is going to be localized in
Oh,
Asia,
never, man. It's going global, so global.
but maybe I can give a few more general examples. Let's see how it can apply to Asia case by case. So, in terms of the most useful way that AI can be used in businesses, of course, to interact with your customer. Okay. So now, what we see in getting actually salespeople to interact with customers is, of course, there is a user response time, right? You don't want to waste your employees' time waiting for the reply of your customers. So you don't want your salespeople who have not such a good understanding of what your products and services are to try to engage with clients who is coming from a more knowledgeable perspective of what they want out of your services.
What occurs to me is an example of how some companies and government organizations do. They are having their chatbots online, right, on their websites. So the chatbots can take most of the FAQs, frequently asked questions, and if the conversation gets more serious or more important than that, then I think they definitely will have their staff on standby to take over the conversation from the bot so that they can answer the more profound or deeper questions if they have any. Because some people might prefer to email, some people might prefer to call them, people would prefer to just use the chatbot too. And it would be a smart thing for companies to have staff members, not always like on not always on standby, wasting time waiting for people to contact them. But if the conversation turns serious enough, then maybe they could get a notification that the bot says that, oh, the bot thinks this conversation is more important, maybe it flags it as more important, and then the staff members who are on standby for such things can take over the conversation. That way they don't lose a potential customer from the sales perspective, and they can definitely have a deeper conversation with the person, answer the more deeper questions. That's one example, one real world case example I can think of that is being applied, like, even today, like, presently.
Yes, definitely. So businesses are definitely using chatbots for these purposes. And maybe you're not aware that chatbot technology is already a technology that's about 10 years old. We began as tech consultants implementing chatbots as decision trees, as how to steer a conversation from one response to another response through multiple choice or more structured uh, answers from the clients. Those kind of technology has been implemented long ago, and that's why you are we are today quite familiar with chatbot services.
Definitely.
But
Even my grandma knows how to use chatbots for cooking tips.
wonderful. So the the innovation that is coming from AI is because the AI models are now able to have more human conversations with customers, and that is actually quite recently with ChatGPT and other solutions out there in the market, whether it's Google Gemini or Bard, I
Or
think no,
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, yes, or whatever Elon Musk is trying to do. So it's able to be fed the conversations, the policies or whatever it is, the sales product sales marketing materials, and is now able to reply customers on a much more intelligent level on what kind of products and services they are looking for.
True, true.
So we can of course see like how AI software is not just changing the way of how we work, but also how we learn and how we even live. And maybe I can just give you an example, right? Because that ChatGPT and other search engines have direct access to the global knowledge network, the whole Wikipedia at their fingertips. It is so much easier for us to find information.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to ask chatbots
For targeted information.
for advice,
Yes, for advice.
live advice, how to navigate interview questions, how to navigate a career path, how to navigate relationships.
I had a friend in a previous episode who mentioned using ChatGPT, right? She likes using ChatGPT as a counselor for herself, as a therapist or of sorts. So that's also that's a very interesting example. All right, moving on. Um, let's talk about for the youth. Those who are like me, who are studying in like secondary school or poly, and who are going to move into their career soon. It's a big shift between education into career. You're learning, and then you're going to work. Right? It's
Yeah.
a big shift in your life. It's a big step. So it's about mental. It's about managing mental health and personal growth, because that's what Sonara is all about too. And it's about managing technological progress with human well-being, and using AI for a positive impact. Really, I feel like that's the way I would phrase the intersection of AI and humanity. So, what are your thoughts about this?
So it's so interesting that you brought up this concept of mental health, mental wellness, because that was actually one of the research projects that I was doing with
Ah,
NUS.
okay.
So what that was, and it was an undergrad research project for year one students at the end of their summer break.
For those for those university students or those looking to go into this field for AI into universities, listen up.
So what happened was that NUS like to approach industry people like myself to mentor students on their computer science projects. And being a National University of Singapore alumni, I will gladly oblige. So the benefits of having a good university to your name. So what I want to say then is that on mental health, right? Um, you know, because of the power that AI has to summarize like your previous therapy sessions, to give an overview of how a patient or a client who is seeking mental health advice or support is at in their mental health journey. Now, those are important things to actually keep track of, and you could of course keep track of in if you're a therapist or a counselor, you are going to keep detailed records of your clients.
Definitely.
But now the problem comes in with so much records, uh, with so many patients. Now, how are you going to keep track of a
Database.
database? Yes, but a particular patient, where they are in their progress of the progress of what they intend to work on, because you remember, like, mental health is not just a one-off advice and then you're finally well, right? You actually have to work it
It
on
needs to
a
be
long journey.
a phase thing, a
Yes,
few phases.
but as a professional mental health professional, you can't of course keep track of all your hundreds of patients, hundreds of clients. So that was where the student project was in, to have an easy way to summarize and make sense of where each person, each client is at on their needs, on their journey, and to give the professional therapist or the professional counselor a quick overview of what it is that the patient needs support at the current moment.
All right, so you shared about the project. That's very very good example. I seriously I need to hear about this more from you as well. I'm sure the audience will be more interested as well. So you can expect some people to strike up conversations with you later on. What about your thoughts on the transition between education into career for this industry?
So when we talk about the shift from from a student's perspective of how they want to get ready for the workforce, this is of course not an easy shift to make,
Mm.
because most students, if they didn't have the work experience, um, of course they are going to struggle, because the set of requirements, or the set of expectations that office workers are meant to live up to is different from the set of expectations that students have.
That's why internships come in, right? The internships are so important.
Definitely. So internships are where you actually get your first
Work
taste
experience.
of work experience.
The real world work experience. You get to work in an office with colleagues, your supervisor, and you have to accomplish tasks on time. You have to actually sit in meetings and stuff like that. I'm sure I've been part into to my internship before as well. It was an internship with a medical company, but I was my role was called SEO, search engine optimization intern. But then most of my tasks and projects were on machine learning, cloud computing, and web development and AI. Yeah.
So that is so helpful for internships, right? Because you get the taste of a work life, which is, of course, to be able to show up to the office.
At 9 o'clock every day, and then you have 9 to 5. You know the 9 to 5 job.
So there are definitely work expectations when you are an intern, but you're removed of the responsibilities of a full-time staff, which actually have to, for instance, professionals like myself, we are actually held to account on our work performance and what we can actually deliver as our project.
True. So what's one word you can think of when you talk about this transition process?
Hmm. So in terms of transitioning, I think the one thing to keep in mind would be learning.
Learning, all right, learning. But then I would also just want to include another repeated phrase with the learning part, which is the mental health part. Don't get too stressed about the learning part, because it is a transitional thing for all the youth and the students, and you are expected to face obstacles and overcome them. It's all part of the journey.
So one thing I have to add, right, is that if you find that you're struggling in a work environment and it's just your first job, or you're new to the company, please ask for help. Now that's such an important advice that most people don't actually take it to heart,
It's true. That's
because
true. That is true.
Singaporeans, we like to struggle in silence.
Well said, man. Well said. All right. To the next part, we're just closing in on the last two segments of the podcast, which is the future of AI in Asia. So, what's your vision of AI's role in building a healthier and more connected society?
Hmm. Now that is a really challenging thing. Why is such a challenge is because with the advance of AI, we are actually going to experience a much more stressful work environment.
So to make it healthier will be a challenge, right?
Definitely. And I can explain why it's going to be more stressful because there will be less work opportunities available. Once people find that, like, productivity can increase in the industry by maybe even 5 times or more because AI is doing all our documentation, AI is interacting with our customers, AI is doing everything these days.
Most of the trivial tasks are taken over by the tools already.
Anything that can be turned into standard operating procedures, anything that's routine, you should not be actually requiring a human to actually intervene because obviously machines and computers can do repeated tasks much more effectively, much more tirelessly. In certain sense, right, AI is useful. In certain sense, you also have to make the intelligent decision what is best for you.
All right, so let's wrap up. What's one key takeaway for the audience that you want to give them?
Okay, so I think the most important lesson I think that we all should take away is that I don't want to be mean to the audience, but like, and of course, to students and to fresh graduates, I think we should take this in mind and take this into consideration when we want to enter the workforce, when we want to enter into business, and basically, it's this: if the AI software is able to do a better job than you, then what is your role that you have as part of this whole process?
Because you need to have more to offer.
Yes. So you need to know how to value add to businesses. You need to know how to value add to your boss, your manager, your your employer, right? You need to know what the AI is unable to do and perform those roles, those responsibilities, those functions that that still requires the human touch.
Definitely. Well said. All right, so that's the one key message that you guys can take away. It's a very good message. Thank you, Jan. All right, so I'm going to be including Jan's LinkedIn for anyone who might want to connect with him. And he is very, very luckily, I'm honored to have you on my advisory board, Jan. So
My pleasure.
he's on my Sonara's advisory board, and that also makes him a mentor. So any mentee who wants a mentorship relationship with him, feel free to contact him. And yeah, you guys can connect with us through our YouTube and our Spotify and our LinkedIn and our Instagram. I will include all the links in the description later. So this episode is meant for the global audience, specifically the Southeast Asian region, because Jan has quite a bit of knowledge base and experience with the Asian region, and I've had an amazing time listening to him as well, learning about the how AI and business work in Asia. So this is about AI, business, and the human impact, and personal growth and mental wellness with Sonara. So thank you guys for listening to today's episode, and you can look forward to our next episode under this podcast. Think about it. Thank you. Bye bye.